Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar. My name is Andrew Townsend. I'm here with eLearning Brothers. Today's session is going to be about our Rockstar solutions that can help solve your 2020 training challenges. This is going to cover all of our solutions, some of which you probably know about and many of which you might not know about. This session will be recorded and we'll send a copy of the recording out to everybody who has registered, so you can look for that in your email later in the day. If you have questions or comments during the webinar, please use the questions panel. That's a part of your GoToWebinar control panel there on the side. And you can send us a message. We'll get to as many of those as we can. And if there's something that we can't answer live, we'll try to reach out to you offline and make sure that all of your questions are being answered. All right, so today to talk to us about our solutions, we have Brie Savage, one of our account executives with us today. Thanks for your time, Brie. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn the time over to you.
Why, hello, everybody. I hope your day is going well. So I'm going to be covering the basics of what we cover now as eLearning Brothers, because I don't know how long that you guys have known us, but we first started with just building templates for people, and that was the very beginning stages, but it has grown so much over the past decade that now we just need to refresh them and just tell them what's new and what kind of solutions we can help you with your training materials. So if I go next. And as just like a general reference, we, with eLearning Brothers, if you are familiar, all the type of training stuff that we have built are not really industry specific, so we can work with everybody. As you can see on the titles here, or people's logos, we can work with everybody with any kind of like training, basically training goals that they have for their employees and everything. So let me just go to the next slides. With this slide, this is just kind of like identifying what the current situation you are in when it comes to like what are you lacking, what do you need, what do you want to include with your training stuff, and then any of these certain topics that you see here, like creating engaging courses, time constraints for creating courses, and everything here can fit within the group of developing engaging custom e-learning courses, which custom development is one of the things that we do out of 6 other, or total 6 solutions overall. But so this is just kind of like a great identifier of where you want to be and how we could help you out with all of that. But I'll just go to the next slide. So overall, so templates and assets are something that we have started with at the very beginning. So that's the first thing that we're going to tap into is the asset library that you see on the top left corner, and then everything else that we can do, which is gamification, LMS stuff, and all of that. So I'll just kind of get into the details of everything there. But I do kind of want to get a gauge of what you guys are most interested in. So Andrew, could you give a poll on what we're most interested in that I can put more detail into for today's webinar?
Yep, so that information is right on the screen. You guys can click directly on the screen to let us know what you're most interested in, and you can click on more than one. So if you're interested in the asset library and the learning game library, feel free to click both of those. We'll give you guys a few moments to click on these and let us know what you want to cover. Give you guys just a couple more seconds. It does look like there's a clear leader. Lots of people want to learn about the learning game design. And I'll go ahead and close this out, and I'll share it just for you, Brie. So the largest group is learning game design. The next largest group is the asset library, and then off the shelf, and then custom, and then the LMS.
Perfect. Awesome. That will be nice. So I'll tap into. We'll get into the games first. Like, why not? If that's the most majority there, then we'll get into the assets, off-the-shelf, custom, learning management system, and then course editor. If I forget the order, my apologies, but let's start with that. So learning game design is basically a tool that we partnered with called the Training Arcade, where it's an online editor tool where you plug in your own quiz questions and answers inside of it, and then it just outputs a live game. And it's so quick and easy. I remember when we first got access to it, I think it was 2017, where they made our department like build games at the very beginning, and we're not trainers or developers, like that's not my role, but it was so intuitive and easy to make, and it was fun too. Like I really love playing inside of this tool. But overall, there are 8 different game types that you see on the screen here. A lot of them, hopefully you are familiar with, like Jeopardy. Matchgami is like Bejeweled or Candy Crush if you've played those games. Quiz Jumper is like Doodle Jump. So a lot of these different game types to kind of add more engagement to your courses, especially if you're familiar building inside, like building your own e-learning courses within Storyline or Lectora, Captivate. These kind of take it to the next level and make it a little bit more engaging for games. And so help develop knowledge. And I'll just click next. These slides will kind of go into the details of what each game type will be. Jeopardy is the most newest one and really nice. What's interesting is the licensing for Jeopardy. Technically, you're not supposed to build Jeopardy games because it's copyright. So our gaming folks decided to, okay, let's partner with the organization so we can actively sell this and provide this without getting in trouble. So it's really cool. It's really engaging. You can just put in, like, everybody's familiar with it. At least hopefully the majority of you are familiar with Jeopardy. And you would plug in all of your questions and answers into each category. And then once people play it, it'll just like look like the game and everything. So I'll just play that little video as it plays. But this is just kind of like the introduction. It's a really quick video. They like sped it up, which is kind of nice. But as kind of a side note from this webinar, anything that I really tap into or explain as much into, I can always work with you one-on-one and explain it and like show you the back end too, so you can get all the information you need from there and answer any specific questions that you have. But this is just kind of what you expect with the game, is like the interactivity of it, being able to play with it. It's really like visually just nice and awesome. And what's nice about these games, as you build them, there's a back end of analytics. So you can keep track of all your player base, all of the scores, how many times they played it and everything. So it's a great way of just kind of analyzing their how well everybody's doing within certain topics. So if you built a Jeopardy game or any other kind of game like Jump, however many players play it, if you do Jump on like cybersecurity or finance or whatever topic you want to train them on or refresh them on, you'll be able to get the stats of how well everybody is doing and seeing, okay, a lot of people are failing in this topic, or a lot of people know this already. So it kind of helps you gauge of what the next e-learning course is going to be for you too. And also just adds funness because people like playing games. But anyway, so Jump is like Doodle Jump. I haven't played Doodle Jump, but it's basically a guy jumping on platforms, and you answer question platforms, or you land on certain question platforms. And when the question pops up, it gives you a blast upwards. So the agenda of this one is you're trying to get as high as possible, and the higher you get, the more points you get. So when you answer questions, you basically get a boost upwards, thus giving you more points as you get higher. And then you also have lives. So when you do fall at the very bottom of the screen, that's when you lose a life. But when you answer questions, you can regain your lives. And then also as a little challenge thing, there are like little spike balls that fall down that hit you and stun you. So if you could potentially lose a life because you're stunned. So it's really cool how you could just like be engaging, use your computer or even your mobile device to play this, answer certain questions on topics. So people are first having fun and playing games, but at the same time, they're answering things and kind of getting repetition of questions. So it helps them learn more and just kind of like, it like digs into their brain of like certain knowledge, like if they play a game multiple times, or if Doodle Jump, if they're really good at playing it, it can last for a long time. So they could get like a recycling of the same questions. It depends on how many questions you put into it. With the games, you can put as many questions as you want into them. So if you want like 10 questions, 100, 200, all of the freedom to you. So they're just really cool. All the different game types kind of add a good variety there. Match game is like Bejeweled, so that's you just match 3 icons, same the icons in the row. You answer certain questions to get bonus points, and overall it's just different ways on how you can approach everything. I won't do all the videos because it'll be a little bit time consuming for me to not cover everything else, but again, I can always tap into it further with you guys if you want more information, and I can cover all of that, and then even go into the backend builder and show you how that would work and how easy it is to use and input stuff. But there's trivia games, so that's like answering questions within a certain time limit. So the faster you answer, the more correct you answer, the more points you get. So it's just kind of like a competition in a way to yourself. And then also it's just really fun. So it's like a quiz, like a sophisticated quiz air thingy. So trivia, I really do enjoy that game. But I'll skip there. Scramble is like where you get a sentence or even a word, and you scramble the letters or the words together, and you just try to like match it in a row. So it's just kind of a way of like knowing what the answer is going to be by putting them together from the bits and pieces together. And then scenarios is really cool. If you guys like building scenarios and like Storyline or any other tool, this is a way of making it of having branching ways of choosing decisions, whether you have like a video or just pictures that you input into it, and then they take one path and it takes them certain ways, but then whatever answers you can get, you can choose how many points they're earning depending on their answer, whether it's right or wrong or medium ground. They have a gauge there where it tells you like kind of what your progress is like too. So I think it's really nice. It can get complicated because branching stuff is complicated. I've tried it and did it very basically, and I took a lot of time to figure it out, but it's really nice. I really enjoy scenarios. Sort it is like columns and rows and putting them in the same category, or in putting certain pictures or even answers or words, phrases into the right category. So it's like just a way of just kind of putting your mind into a mental puzzle of putting where the right parts are for the type of content you're outputting there. So that's what sort it is like, is putting things in the right columns and rows and making sure that you've got all that right and you get points. And then recall is like a memorized game. You get to watch or you see a picture pop up. So like for this one, you see it's like a guy in a kitchen, and any like maybe you have to keep in mind of anything that's hazardous inside of there, something that isn't right or sanitary or whatever. And then once you're ready to go to the quiz afterwards, it just kind of asks you like the pictures of what you've noticed within it. So the less time you spend on the picture, the more points you get. The more correct answers you get from memorizing it, the more points you get, of course. And then you can also re-look at the pictures in case you don't know the answers. So, and there's like a little point value at the bottom. Overall, again, engaging games, they're really cool. This is the back end. They're like little screenshots of what it looks like. So this is like the analytics. So when you do open up like the back end builder, once people have started playing your game and everything, then you'll see like each identifier of like, okay, who's played it, how many times have they played it, their stats, what questions they got right. And there's a way that you can register people. So whether you want to identify them through their email address or maybe a company ID number or something, then you can mark them as like a unique person who's played these games. So if like me or Andrew Townsend decided to play one of my games and he played it 10 different times because he registered with his email address, he won't be counted as 10 different people. He would be Andrew who's played it 10 different times. So it's a really cool tool. There's different ways on how you can like authorize users. The registration can be different, and also the output of the games they can be sent through a URL link. So anybody who has that link will be able to play on their computer or their phone or any mobile device. And you can download it as a SCORM package if you want to upload it to your LMS specifically. And the LMS will be able to track a few things from the analyzer or the analytics side, but the analytics on the backend builder will be the main indicator of all of the details and fine things that you want to know. And then also you can embed it as an iframe onto your website if you want to as well. So different ways on how you can approach it. But as a URL, some people like to integrate these games into like their Captivate Lectora storyline projects. So you can embed the URL into your slides and incorporate it into your already existing e-learning course. So it's a really cool way on how you can output it. But overall, really engaging, great way to learn, makes it fun for people, and they can just help answer or basically get that repetition and retention of content that you want them to learn and keep in mind of too. Any questions so far on from you guys?
No questions at this time.
Alrighty.
Looks like everybody's understanding pretty well.
I'm glad I could explain this, but yeah, any questions, feel free to write to Andrew. And then, yeah, so this is the builder here. What you can see, it's really self-explanatory. It's like, okay, what do you want the game name to be? How long do you want it to be for? Like how many seconds to answer each question, and so on. And then you just basically plug in your question types. Each questions, when you input your questions in the games, there are varieties. So you can do like multiple choice, multiple select, poll questions, image matching. You can incorporate like different pictures for each question type, or even include a video for them to watch to answer a question. And then also your own audio too for that question. So if maybe you want a narration audio or just music, you have all the freedom to do that too. So really, really nice variety there. But there are set themes when it comes to the games. So there's going to be like for the jump game, there's like a city theme. There's one where you're like an origami figure. So each game type will have its own preset themes. But if you do want to take it to the next level, there are options to do custom development on like the design and look and feel of the games. So that's an option there. But when it comes to like the base subscription of the training arcade overall, there'll be the preset themes. But it's helped a lot of people. A lot of people I talked to have really enjoyed this, and it's helped them heaps. So yeah, let me know if you want to ever look into this further and help me answer any questions that you guys might have about that.
One question has come up. Are these games Flash based?
No, because Flash is apparently dead in 2020. They're all HTML5. So you're good there. Yeah, that would be pretty sad because nothing will be supporting Flash soon. So yeah. And then this is what I mean by custom game development. Actually, no, that's part of the custom slide. I have skipped ahead somehow. I'll go back to the home. Okay, so that's the training arcade, the gamification tool that we provide there. Okay, the next one will be the asset library. So this is what we're kind of most known for everything, our templates and assets for in-house development. So a lot of people we work with are structural designers, e-learning developers, maybe sometimes even marketing or chief learning officers, whoever. You can get access to a lot of pre-built interactive templates that we've built within the major tools. So as I mentioned before, like Captivate, Lectora, Storyline, Camtasia, and then PowerPoint. We work within all those tools and have provided different types of interactions that you can plug and play into it. So whether you're looking for a quiz or a scenario or a layout, drag and drop interaction, all those different things you can find within those tools and put in your content and customize them however you want to. So it's a great way to save time, have something that's really interactive. You're not losing the quality of the course topics and everything, and you can just focus on like your brand, change any images or content that you need to, along with themes. So everything is already natively built in these tools. So anything that you're wondering, like, can I edit this? The answer is yes. As long as the tool has the capabilities, of course, like you can't go beyond the software itself. But yeah, so like images, color schemes, videos, you can even expand the interactions that we've built. Like if there's a quiz where you're like, oh, this is only 5 questions, I need it to be 20 questions. Then you can duplicate it, expand it, make it as big as you want to. You can break it down. You'll be able to see even the back-end coding or triggers that our developers put together. So that's a great learning experience on like how we built it, along with you being able to make the necessary edits that you need to fit the course that you're building. But yeah, so as you can see here, these are the different types of templates that we've built. The most recent push that we've had, at least within 2019, has been XAPI enabled. So if you guys are tracking XAPI stuff with your LRS and everything, then these templates have that capabilities. There are preset values, but you can definitely change them to fit any values that you need to. That's as much as I know when it comes to XAPI, because I'm not a developer, but it's really cool. It's helped a lot of people. And as a side thing, they're also built to be responsive. So whatever tools have that kind of responsive design, you'll be able to basically have it on your desktop or on your computer, or sorry, it's the same thing, phone and tablet. So yeah, so template library. So these are just kind of like the look and feel with our courses. Course starters are also a new push within this past year, where normally we had templates that were all individual based, where one template would be a quiz, one template would be a scenario, one would be a layout. But course starters are a way of like kind of bundling all of that together and making it just one big file. That way, when you download it, you have all these different slides that are interactive. You can delete which ones you don't want to keep, or sorry, you don't want to use, keep the ones you want to use, and then just kind of expand it, add new slides that you need to, and it just helps you start your course. They do have preset themes, as you can see here. Like this one is like Fira, I think that's how you say it. Fira, which is like red and purple orange-ish, and Montserrat. I struggle with the words. They do such fancy words when they develop these. But anyway, they have their preset designs, but you can design them however you want to. So if you have a color coding you have to follow, if you have to use certain fonts, certain images, you have to add in your logo, that's totally fine. You can do all of that and edit it. But yeah, so again, with the responsive design, they're meant to be mobile, so you can fit them on the laptop, computer, phone, tablets, stuff like that too. So source files, that's how you'll be able to edit it. So if you're using Storyline, it'll be like a .story file. Captivate would be the CPTX files. And so because they are the native files, you'll be able to edit anything that you need to. Nothing is basically hidden or restricted. So that's what the templates are like too.
How many of these templates are available in Lectora? And same with the course starters. Are there still course starters available in Lectora?
I believe so. That's a good question. Yeah, there should be with Lectora. The Lectora library, I can't remember like the exact number, but there is a good amount of Lectora templates built in both online and Lectora Inspire. And what we can do, which is like part of the end of like the presentation for Asset Library, is I can get you signed up for a free trial. So that would get you a login to explore the full libraries of, like, if you want to look at Lectora templates, you'd have all the freedom to look at everything that's in there and even play around with a couple of them too. So I think that could really help answer your question, so you can actually visually see it instead of me like just kind of explaining. So if you want to sign up for that, then let's do it.
I do know that we have less demand for Lectora, and so there are less course starters in Lectora. And we are trying to build those out and make them accessible for everybody that needs them or wants them. But as you're going in as a Lectora user, you will see less Lectora than you see Captivate and Storyline.
It's very true. The majority of people that I talk to tons, and a lot of people are using Storyline, and they prefer Storyline over Captivate, and then Lectora is like a smaller base, which is very interesting because, I mean, I hear it's a really awesome tool. So yeah, I think it'll be best for you to see it yourself. If I can get you a login there, you'll be able to explore it, and then I can also explain further and like visually show you so you can see that. That goes for the rest of you. If you guys want to see Captivate stuff, Storyline, Camtasia, or if you're just using PowerPoint, then let's get you to see it, because this PowerPoint presentation does not show you every single template we have, because it's it's a pretty quick webinar to cover everything else. But yeah, hopefully that answers a little bit for you. XAPI, as mentioned earlier, again, if you guys do tracking like that next step tracking for your LRS, these templates were built to be XAPI enabled, and then any of the variables and values and stuff will be there for you to see, and then also customize if you already have a preset way that you approach it with. Accessibility, we have tried to make a push to make it more like get to the basics of 508 compliance. So that would be like the color scheme of things. So like that FIRA and Montserrat, I believe, are gives that color contrast for people who have color blindness, the text size and everything, and then also the tab orders. So if somebody were just using their keyboard to go through the courses, the tab order should be in order too. But if you guys have to take the next step when it comes to accessibility, then because these are customizable, you can do anything extra that you need to in order to be compliant with your training requirements within your organization. So the next library, so that covered the templates. There are different libraries within the asset, the whole asset library. Cutout people, which hopefully the majority of you are pretty familiar with. It's a huge library full of people in different poses that have already been cropped for you. So each person will have over 100 poses that you can use in different ways and make them happy, frustrated, in a conversational based situation, and they work within all tools. So within our website, you can use it in Lectora or PowerPoint, Camtasia, whatever you need to use these and make a scenario for your courses. That just kind of gives you a visualization of what to expect. Like this guy standing here, we cropped it for you, and then now you can put them into any background that you want to. And that background basically came from our stock photo background, which is what the third library will be tapping into. But yeah, so tons of cutouts that we have available for different clothing types and everything. We have built this pretty tremendously over the past few years, and it's only going to grow further in the future as well as we kind of expand our reach for everything too. But yeah, business, customer service, medical, students, young people, older people. We have a huge amount of categories that you can filter the cutouts from to find what you need to. So if there's an age group, an ethnicity group, clothing type, hair type, all those different things, you can use filters to narrow down the results and find a person that matches to what you're looking for. But yeah, so scenarios, so like we got two people, one back facing, one front facing, and made a scenario. So you can put them however you want to, get creative and use these people for your advantage. The next library are stock assets. So that's going to be a huge library full of images and vectors, which it says it right in front of us, but it's a really good resource. It's all royalty free in the sense like once you use an image, then you can keep it in your course forever. You don't have to relicense it. I'm gonna choke. My apologies, guys. Okie dokie. With the images, you can find a lot of backgrounds and then poses for a lot of people. So if you need any, just whatever you're looking for, you can look up any keyword. And then also find backgrounds. There's a really cool search function in the stock asset library where you can sort by 0 people. So if you need backgrounds, you can sort by like nobody and then find images for all that. Or if you do need people, you can find that. And then also a filter for illustrations. So if you need vector graphics or infographics or anything like that, then you can find that through that filter. So just a huge library there. And what's really exciting is that we're working to expand it like crazy. So right now we're at about a little over 3 million assets through this, but we're hoping to get like 30-fold above that. So that will be really exciting, hopefully by the mid-year 2020. So that'll be fun. The next part of the stock assets are audio. So this will be music. So any kind of like instrumental music or rock music, whatever kind of music you want to find, you'll find it here. Sound effects, which would be great for quizzes if you want like bells or dingers or something like that, along with like alarms. Looping would be like the soundtracks that you can just constantly play and over and over again. But yeah, there's a lot of categories that you can look up, whether it's the keyword, or we do have popular categories in our asset library. So if you want to click by popular category, then you can, but you can basically look up anything that you need to fit your training needs. And then the last part of the stock assets are video. So images, audio, video. So it's all combined together. Video is just like, if you're familiar with GIFs, they're just short little clips that you can incorporate to your training materials. Great for Camtasia users. We do bundle it with Camtasia because it's a video-based platform. But yeah, so whatever kind of footage you're looking for, if it's aerial or a guy walking in the warehouse or somebody walking on the street or somebody in the office talking in a meeting, look it up, find out, and see what you can find and use within the videos. But they're really cool. There's a lot of things that you can find, especially with Adobe After Effects. We do have a lot of videos for that, so you can edit them and make really cool things. PowerPoint is our fourth library that we have within the asset library. So that will be, it's kind of it has some consistency with the eLearning library. So you'll see some themes that correlate with the themes that we have within the other tools. But the majority of it is actually going to be graphs and charts and like data related stuff. So that's what PowerPoint is. It's great for meetings. It's great to present data into your e-learning courses and everything. But you'll still find some like scenario things, like if you need a timeline or a scenario, or it's just something that's more basic training for face-to-face, then you can do that. But a lot of things will be more bar graphs. Again, you can change everything here. So we give you the PowerPoint file. You want to change certain colors, themes, add icons. This kind of shows you the difference between like the base file versus adding your own stuff to it. And then also, this is like a video of how to edit it, but I'll just kind of skip through it because I can show you later if you want. But when it comes to the bar graphs and everything, there's a lot of different categories that come in as vectors. So everything is bundled together. You can change a funnel graph however you want to, or if you want a fishbone diagram, whatever kind of chart you're downloading, there's a lot of different varieties and looks and feels for them. But once you open it in PowerPoint, you can make the necessary changes to fit the kind of information that you're wanting to present. And then also, like, it's like a whole bunch of images put together, so you can break it down however you need to or add to it and make it yours. But yeah, that's PowerPoint. So that's the fourth library we have within the assets. And then icons, the fifth one and the main last one, but there's one other that's kind of a main one. But anyway, icons are just a huge library full of vector icon images. So if you guys have the tools to edit vectors, or if you're going to edit it in PowerPoint, then these were all made to be customizable however you want to. If you load it up to be really giant, it won't lose its quality because it is a vector file. But you can download these as a PNG image if you want, or like the EPS, or can't remember what the other vector was, but yeah, two different vectors. But huge library full of icons. There's a lot of different themes too, or styles. So if there's like if you want to be consistent with different types of icons, you can sort by style, and everything will have the same look and feel when it comes to the drawing. And you can just find different things and make it all consistent. So that's really nice, being able to have the variety of like the art style, and then also keeping it consistent when you're looking at a lot of different icons. So I really like icons. They're really cool. I like these little cute drawings. And yeah, and this gives you like a video of how you can edit it if you guys wanted to get that far. It was SVG, EPS and SVG files, but if you were just editing it here, then that's what you can do with the vectors. So that's what icons will consist of. And then a lot of different categories too. It's a huge library full of images. You can search by category, or you can look up your own keyword where you're like, I want to find a folder. Then you type in folder, and then it'll pop up with icons that are folder related. So that was the first 5 libraries, are like the main part of the asset library. But in case you are in the medical industry and you do trainings more that's like anatomy related, then we do have a library full of medical images, which will be like images, high resolution images of different angles when it comes to organs, body parts, systems, and everything like that, along with a couple of environments too. So it's a really cool resource for that if you guys ever do training for that. But if you were to look at an image of the heart, there'd be different angles of the heart, like upwards, downwards, different ways, and then also there are some looping videos with them too, so you can feel the heart beating or see it, not feel it, but a lot of different anatomical resources there. So that's the main asset library, and that just covers all of your in-house stuff. Really good, like one-stop shop covering your e-learning needs. You get interactions, you can get images, just put your focus into one place, and we provide all those resources to you and just help you out. So my question to you guys, with me covering this, since I mentioned the free trial earlier, how many of you would want to see these on a deeper level, explore these libraries and see it?
And how many of you have already tried it?
Oh, true, yeah. How many of you have seen this?
So the survey's right up on the screen. Just click right on which one you've done. If you have tried it, if you haven't tried it, maybe you tried to sign up but something went wrong, so you had trouble getting set up. We'd like to, if that's you, we'd definitely like to reach out to you and make sure that we get you set up the way you'd like. So, all right, looks like most everybody has participated in that, and about 75% of our audience has not signed up for a free trial. So that's 75% of our audience that could get some free assets.
Let's get you signed up, guys. Explore it, have fun, see what can help you out. And again, you'll have my contact information after the webinar, so any questions you have, whether about the assets or anything else that we'll tap into today, I'm happy to help however I can and make sure that we can give you stuff that you guys need for your goals, what you guys want to build and provide for your employees for training. But yeah, so that's the asset library. We covered the games. The next important one was off the shelf, I think. So I'll just go into that one next. Perfect. So off the shelf courses is kind of a new concept, but not really at the same time. We first developed courses in, I think it was 2017, where we started building soft skills courses. Then we're like, hey, this is actually picking up. It's helped a lot of people being able to have content that's pre-made. They can upload to their LMS. They had the ability to customize them and rebrand them. So it's just kind of a way of like giving them a huge jump start of getting training provided to them, to their employees, and just getting it started without them having to develop from scratch. Since then, we've grown it tremendously. There's been a lot of changes in recent times where we have partnered with other companies to provide more larger libraries. So when it comes to like soft skills training, that has been switched over to include like a huge resource of like soft skills for people who are employees and people who are managers, whether it's like customer service basics, like text and email etiquette, or all these different things that are really cool. And I can definitely give you the titles and like the different topics that are available if that's something that you're looking into. What's also new is preventing discrimination and harassment. There's a lot of states that require harassment training, and this covers all legal, like federal and state law requirements, depending like if you're in California, New York, Delaware, Illinois, whatever else other states there are. There's I think there's like 7 of them right now that are state specific. But everything here is all more like micro-learning courses now. So preventing discrimination and harassment will have stuff that are intended, like a lot of little different videos of each topic. So like sexual harassment would be one micro-learning course. Trying to stop harassment in its tracks would be another course, and then all these different things of discrimination and stuff. Workplace safety is a huge library that we just we revamped it pretty recently. It used to be more traditional, longer courses that we had, but then we broke them down to micro learning and called it within like the Rockstar learning model. I'm pretty sure there's a slide for that, so I won't get too deep into that. But overall, there's just a lot of different course topics we have here. that we can provide to you if you need something that's really quick, that you can either upload as a scoring package to your own LMS. We do have an LMS if you guys don't have one, if you're looking to switch over. So that's like the two options is if you already have one, great, we'll give you the files to upload it. Or if you want us to host it, then we can do that for you and so on. But great to get just quick stuff learning. There we go, Rockstar learning model. So this is what our courses are going to follow when it comes to the safety and the cybersecurity courses. Cybersecurity is currently in process. I think they're hoping to get it completed by March or so. It could be a little bit longer, but I'm really excited to see it. But the safety courses, they're all completed. There's a lot of different topics when it comes to safety. But what's really neat about the Rockstar learning model is the first portion of the course is like topics that, or contents that you're going to learn about. You're going to read and just kind of interact with and learn. So if it's like active shooter response, then you'll learn about what like the beginning stages of like how to identify what's happening. And then once you learn that, you're going to rehearse it. So it's going to give you like a little like activity that you're going to do, whether it could be like a self-reflection or maybe going to find out what your safety guidelines are for the company. Basically a way of applying what you just learned to yourself and reflecting. So if it was like, again, if you were learning about active shooter, then and the warning signs of people who could potentially be that way, you're going to rehearse yourself and say, have I been in a violent situation at work before? If yes, have I ever reported it? Then you would write down your answer. So it's like you're just kind of self-reflecting on just whatever topic you're learning at that given time. And then performing is like giving you an indicator of like, what did you learn? Like, what was your aha moment when you learned this? Like, what did you not realize? And you were like, whoa, I didn't actually know this. So you write that down. And then also you apply it to yourself. Like, how are you going to use this knowledge to your daily workload? Like if you're going to learn about active shooter and you learned about what the warning signs are, then you're like, I'm going to be more attentive when somebody is acting differently than what I'm used to, or something like that. You just make kind of like a performance plan for yourself, and you just enter all of that into the core stuff. So it's a really cool model, being able to learn something, but then also taking that next step of applying it to yourself and actually committing it to yourself is like a great way of just actually like learning. Because when you just like learn, you take a quiz and you're done, then if you forget about it, then maybe you forget about it. But this takes kind of like a next step when it comes to commitment, and then you actually kind of like learn and apply it to yourself. So it's a really cool model. And I can always demo the courses more specifically with you guys if you guys want to learn more about whether it's going to be safety, soft skills, harassment. We do even have like HIPAA courses. Cybersecurity will come soon, so that'll be nice. But yeah, there's just a lot of different things. So the Rockstar model kind of follows that 70-20-10, where if you guys know about that model, I kind of still have a vague understanding of what it is, but where it's like you learn, but then you also apply it to yourself and like rehearse and do all that stuff. So that's just kind of the model that we based it off of. So workplace safety. So again, federal requirements, OSHA, we got a lot of resources. We had a subject matter expert to build all of this, and I don't know, we just made sure that this is all compliant. They will be stayed up to date. So if there are any like major changes, they will be updated for you to keep in mind of. But micro-learning courses, they are interactive, SORM compliant, so you can upload it to your LMS. Or as a side thing, that's like another part of our solution is the course editor tool called Domino Flow. If you guys want to take the next step of editing the courses, rebranding them, adding content, doing whatever you need to, then these were built in a tool called Domino Flow, and you'll be able to edit it within that course editor tool. It's a really cool tool. It's really nice, like Storyline and Captivate. It's pretty nice. And then these are like the certain topics, so I'll just kind of spend maybe 5 seconds so you can review that for anybody who needs safety. 3, 2, 1. Okay, cybersecurity. So that's going to be our next one. It's coming up. I'm going to have to learn more about it, but it will follow that same format as safety, where it's the Rockstar learning model. And again, we're going to I can do demos with it, so can go walk through the courses themselves, go through the content, explain any questions that you might have about these too. So professional development, soft skills, it has a certain format of where it gives you a video of content and then also a narration of additional information. And then you apply what you learned on the job. So it gives you like little job aids so you can like apply it to yourself. So if you're like building customer rapport, there will be a job aid saying, what do you want to improve on when you talk to customers? One of them could be like smiling more often, or like acknowledging them, or agreeing with them on certain things. So any tick box that you marked on the job aid, then those are the things you're going to commit yourself to improve on. And then so the course is like you have a seat time of learning stuff. The job aid is for you to like apply it on the job. So you leave the course, come back after maybe whether it's going to be that same day or maybe the next week or so, and then you say you completed that step, and then afterwards, once you apply it or whatever it requests you to do, then you'll take an assessment and you'll complete the course. So again, that commitment, applying the knowledge to yourself so you can better learn and actually enforce the materials to your daily workload is just really more effective than just kind of memorizing and forgetting later. So that's soft skills. And the soft skills do come, again, in manager bundles and employee bundles. So there's a lot of content for managers, a lot of content for employees specifically, and so that's what you'll find there. And again, if you guys want the catalog there or want more information about that, I can always give that to you personally.
Quick, screenshot it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't screenshot it. Just you can visit our site, elearningbrothers.com, and then there's a off-the-shelf courses section. You can see all of this information there as well as details about each of the courses and the curriculum.
And that's what websites are for, to give you information and titles and stuff. But then again, I can always help too if you have questions. But yeah, so if you want to screenshot that, there it is. And okay, preventing discrimination, harassment. These are really cool. They're kind of different compared to like the soft skills. They're more video based. So there's going to be like a video of somebody talking, explaining a few things. Then there's going to be video scenarios, and then it will ask you some questions on like how to react to that video, like what did they do that was right or incorrect within the video. And then I really like scenarios, so you can watch and actually like see it in person. I think that's really helpful when it comes to harassment, because it gives you like different situations that you wouldn't think of that would be like considered harassment or discrimination. And so I think it's a really cool learning experience. So I really do like the look and feel of these videos. They do have an assessment at the end that you can take to complete it. All courses have quizzes at the end, so they can mark as completed, and so on. But yeah, so discrimination, harassment, federal law, state laws, if you guys have those, if you are in those specific states, and overall microlearning, so you can mix and match certain topics together and make it unique every single year. So courseware, really cool. So these are the titles here. So again, they're all microlearning courses. You could like either do all of them together and bundle it together, or you can, if you're not in a state specific, like if you're like, we're in Utah, we don't have any requirements when it comes to like state stuff. So I could just like mix and match a few of these for this year, and then maybe do 5 new ones for next year. So just stay refreshing for everybody. But like if somebody's in California, like employees have to have 1 hour of training. So there's like a recommended list of like how much time each course is. So you can do 1 full hour of like bundling things together. Managers have to have 2-hour trainings in California. So it's like they bundle it to make it 2 hours. So hopefully that makes sense, but I can explain further if you guys need that. But really, it's a really cool system. Griffin Health Sales System, sales training, it follows our traditional e-learning, so it's not microlearning. They're a bit longer. It's a whole system of the sales process of like introducing yourself, opening up like what their needs are, finding out what are they looking for, coming up with a solution that better fits their needs, and like just this whole process. So it's like a whole course on like the process of from the beginning stages to the very end to the very last part of it of like fulfillment and follow-up, where you're like, okay, we have to make sure that everything's going well for them. So it takes that next step even after the sale. So it's a really cool system. if you guys need to look into sales, but I won't tap further into that. But it's a total of 11 courses that are traditional. So traditional courses are more like 30 minutes each or so, 30 to 40 minutes each, just depending on your fastness of reading and whatnot. It's the course editor tool. So for like the safety courses, even the harassment courses, the soft skills courses, cybersecurity courses, they were all built in Domino Flow. So if you guys need to rebrand them, customize them however you need to, whatever, then we do provide that tool as you can bundle it with the courses, so you can do all the edits you want. You can do whatever you need. It's like kind of, at least our developers explain it to me, it's like a mix between Articulate Rise and Articulate Storyline, where it's like Rise is really quick and rapid, but kind of limited with layouts, where this tool is an online tool, but you can change a lot of things that you want to, like you could within Storyline. So I don't know what that means. There was a webinar in the past that we did on editing the safety courses in Domino. So if you guys want to check that out, then all the free reign, it should be in our webinar history events. How does that work, Andrew? Like, is that our calendar?
So to view old webinar recordings, you can just search our blog. So go to blog.elearningbrothers.com and then type in what you want to find, and you'll be able to find the old recordings of webinars. You can also search our YouTube channel, YouTube, and then just search for eLearning Brothers, and they'll all be listed under webinars.
Oh, yeah. So if there's past webinars you guys missed, then go there. Find stuff that you guys want to learn about. But yeah, so that's Domino, and then we host too. So that's kind of like part of the LMS solution. There are two ways we have the LMS, is if you guys want us to host the courses for you, and just like where it's just like it's up, ready to go for anybody to take, then great, we can do that for you. Or if you guys are looking for a new LMS, we do have that enterprise level where it can be yours completely. You can, it's a really easy LMS like UI platform too, and you can also do like the complicated stuff like integrating HR payroll and API stuff and all that stuff that I don't even know. I'm not the contact for LMS stuff, but if you guys want to look into that, we do have a primary person here who takes care of LMS stuff, but I can forward you that information if you guys want to look into that further. But yes, that's off the shelf. So we cover the first major things that you guys wanted to cover. Custom solutions is not really something that I personally know, like have the nitty gritty details on, because I'm more like the products, like the courses and the assets and the games. But custom is like basically anything that you want developed, we can do it. Like we can build VR games, we can build regular games, we can build regular courses or systematic courses. Finding Flash for you, like if you guys have a lot of courses that were built in Flash in the past and you guys don't know how to track that, then we have a really cool thing called Flash Finder. So there's a lot of different things that custom can do for you guys. If you guys can't do it internally, whether you don't have a team that can do it or you don't have enough time, like your workload is already too much, you can outsource it. So custom has helped so many other people too, and it's and they can just basically fit the kind of needs that you guys are looking for, built things and certain the specific tools that you want, work with you from like beginning to end when it comes to like the instructional design, the layout, the format, the look and feel, and everything. So that's a pretty cool process, but this is just kind of like explains a little bit about it, defining optimal solutions, designing courses, developing the interactivity, and then delivering it to you, giving you the actual files so it's yours. But yeah, custom is a really, really nice thing. And if you guys want to look into custom, if you're like, oh man, I can't, like I feel like we need something that's really specific to our company, our organization, but like we don't have the manpower to do it. We don't have the trainers, or like maybe I'm just overwhelmed with so much work, then custom can help you. They can take that workload off and then make sure that you have the trainings that you guys need with any kind of time frame that you're looking for.
One of the most important things to note also about our custom solutions team is, yeah, they'll do everything, whether you just say, you know what, I've got this really big deadline and I've got to finish it right now. Yeah. We can give you a couple, but we're famous for, we're award winning for making these complete, full, in-depth. Some of them are gamified. Mostly they just look amazing and people want to take this training. because it's been designed. I mean, you can see right here this example on the screen. This is some of our custom work that looks like we did that one for Adobe. So, I mean, we've got lots of experience building stuff from the ground up. But even if you just need an extra set of hands, we're there to help in that regard as well.
There's so many unique things that I've seen. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that's possible. That's crazy. So custom, I definitely look up to. Even though I haven't like personally been on that side before, they've done so many cool things. And these are just kind of screenshots of examples of what they've done, of what their the existing client wanted from us. So it's really cool stuff. But yeah, so these are just kind of little short examples of that. So a lot of different look and feels and the approaches that you can build. This one was really funny, like cartoon stuff, like comic book. That was really cool. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys want to look into custom, I mean, really cool stuff. All right. Trek is a part of custom. I know minimal information about this, but Trek is a way of tracking your as you learn on the job. So I think a good example was like if you're a plumber and you're going on site to a customer to fix a pipe or whatever, Trek is like a mobile thing that you have like on your phone, an app, and you would log that you went to this customer and client, take pictures of, or like a way of tracking it, it could be like taking pictures of your work, and then it submits it into the app, and then your supervisor or manager can look at like your entry points and like what you did and whatever, and then they can provide feedback to you. So it's like kind of applying like, oh, I did this stuff. This was a real life situation that just happened, and then now I can get feedback from my manager on how well I did, constructive criticism, along with great feedback like, oh, awesome, you did a good job. And then it's just like a way of just making that next more realistic approach when it comes to learning too. It's a really cool app. I don't know much further other than that, but it's a part of custom. And they can definitely get further into it on how that works too. But yeah, so it's neat. I like the idea of it, because anything that you can apply on the job, I think, is way more valuable than just like memorizing and then you're done. So Trek is a really cool thing. But yeah, so I guess I'll just slowly go to the next slides. If you guys want to screenshot or take a look or pause, I don't know how the webinars work, but yeah. Okay, so that's custom LMS. Again, it's a resource we can provide. We're partnered with another company who provides this mainly, but it's a way of being able to host our courses. If you guys want a hosting option, it's like really basic where they're uploaded for you, people get logins, and then they take the courses, and great. You can also like get reports, or you would have report access to see like who's taken it, their scoreboards and everything like that. But if you guys want to, yeah, like this, the reporting here, so you can see like how many people have taken it, what people are in progress, how many haven't even logged in yet, and all that stuff, and so on. You can also look by each individual person if you want to. So you're like, oh, this person took this course and completed it. This one, they started this, but it's incomplete and whatnot. So that's just kind of like the first basic that we have. But then there's custom, which is like the more enterprise, or sorry, no, custom branding is like being able to have your own logos. So as you can see here, like there's that blue bar and then this bar. So it kind of gives you that special look and feel with your brand. So that's the first part of hosting. Built-in quizzes. So if you guys want to include a quiz after a course, add in additional content, that's definitely a possibility within it, and so on. But the next step with LMS is basically a full-blown like enterprise level where you're like, I want to have control of this. We need to have certain features included, like API integration, including our payroll stuff, attaching lynda.com to it, whatever, and so on. But yeah, so that's everything when it's the LMS. And the course editor tool, I barely tapped into it, but it's just like another tool to edit our courses. But you can build your own courses with it too. It's a really neat, powerful tool. But yeah, sorry, I took a really long time. So thanks for staying, for watching and listening. But let me know if you need anything else. I don't know where that last page is.
No, that's fine. Thanks, Brie. So like Brie mentioned, we'll be able to send you, if you just let us know in the chat, if you'd like to know more info about any of these specifically. And it looks like a couple of you have reached out, so we will make sure to reach out to you with information about the LMS or about our off-the-shelf training. And as you can see on the screen, you can still get a free trial. You can visit elearningbrothers.com and there's a free trial registration button there. Or if you'd like to get a little bit more information, you can email Brie directly. Her email's there on the screen, bsavage@elearningbrothers.com. Feel free to give her a call directly as well, 801-854-5188. Brie, you'll be taking calls in about 5 minutes. Is that right? Yeah. Feel free to give us a call. Thanks everybody for visiting with us today. We hope you enjoyed the webinar and we hope that you'll find more webinars in the future that you enjoy by eLearning Brothers. See ya.